Please give it up for Pro!
What's up? Mic check. That one sounds kind of low. 1 2 1 2 1 2. All right.
Check.
Oh, sorry. What's up, everybody? I'm going to stand up for the moment. He was supposed to play some West Coast. He did me dirty. Some Nip, some DJ Quick, some Ice Cube. I'm going all the way back, not to, you know. How's everybody feeling? So the panel today is producing and engineering the hits.
Check, check.
Check, check. Now, the word hits is subjective, right? But really what we mean in definition is producing and engineering high-quality music consistently. The hits will come, or the hits will come, but you have to have these clear and decisive habits, and you have to have the appropriate collaborators, right? So I'm not going to go long because I want to get these individuals up here, but I did want to share some with you. So I'm going to give you some names of individuals that I've either worked with directly and or had the blessed opportunity to just be in the room. And I say that because as you go through your career, no matter what path you choose or whatever your skill set is, being in the room is it's priceless, right? It's priceless. So I'm going to give you a name, and I'm going to give you key words on how I felt in that experience about that individual, okay? Just a few. So Dr. Dre, perfectionist, elite team, reads the room. Now, the other two you know clearly, but reads the room, I found out that he looks at people for reaction. That is what he's doing. He's heard the music already. He is looking at the individuals in the room, body language, what they say, head nods, paying attention, not paying attention, foot tap, whatever it may be. That's what he's reading when he's pressing play because he's already familiar with the music, right? So I thought that was like, when I discovered that and watched it, I said, oh, shit, right? So next one, Kenny Babyface Edmonds. That was a hell of an experience right there. I will say effortless and organic. And what I mean by organic, when I was in the room, nothing was forced. Whether it was someone he had worked with before or it was someone brand new, you can just tell that energy is just like, kind of like a comfort, like, don't worry, this is going to be a hot record. You know what I mean? Like, no pressure, it's not forced, but he knows what's going to happen at the end, whereas everybody else in the room is like, oh, I better get this right. Oh, I better write this hook right. Oh, I better sing this right. Oh, I better, right? He's just like, we're good, right? DJ Battlecat. Now, if you're not familiar with him, you better get your ass on Google. For me, frequencies. He is a frequency god. And what I mean by that is he's listening to every instrument, including your vocal instrument, and he expects it to hit a certain frequency in production. That is his. I haven't seen anybody like it. It's unbelievable. And another thing about him, even to this day, even he's up there, older than most of us in the room, he's a student. Even if you follow him on social media, he's always giving flowers to the people that he got his skill sets from. He's always seeking out the other masters in the game and trying to learn from them. And he's super established. He's in the room with everybody you can imagine, but he's always a student. He's very public about being a student. He's not, you see him and you see him always learning and stepping his game up. So that's something that stood out about him. James Fauntleroy. If you don't know who James Fauntleroy is, you better study. Just Google that. Seriously, if you don't. If you like Frank Ocean, you should know who James Fauntleroy is based on why you like Frank Ocean, but more so, right? So with him, melodies, which is one of the reasons he's known as a great, fantastic songwriter, but also emotion. So it's the combination of his songwriting being very melodic, but the emotion that exudes from his songwriting, no matter what artist is, singing that. And then the last one, and this one you probably don't know, but I want you to Google him. And I apologize that I didn't get his government name before I came up here, but you still should be able to find him if you Google. His name is Sauce, and Google vocal production. This dude, I don't think, this is no lie, and if you're from LA or been through LA with music, there's nobody that doesn't know him. I have not seen anybody, and I'm saying anybody, be better at vocal production or getting the best vocals out of a vocalist than him. That's all I can say about it. You'd have to Google, and he's probably got YouTube videos up there with some sessions or something, but just phenomenal at bringing out vocals. Yes. Sauce. Yeah, just do Sauce, vocal producer. He'll pop up. Vocal, yes. Okay, let's get to it. Hopefully you enjoyed that little bit. I was just, trying to give you a little bit of something to think about. So first up, Dawson. Where you at? Did he just step out? I heard it. Oh, there's my man. Sorry, the light shining my. Come on out, man. Dawson, recent Kanye West collaborator. He was the engineer. He was in the brick room. So let's give Dawson a round of applause here. Also worked with Boys to Men, local audio engineer aficionado here out of Las Vegas. You pick one, man. Just pick one. Yeah, good. Appreciate you coming out. Next, we got, the light killing me. Let me move this. We got Jeremiah. Credits include Kehlani. Got a #1 record with Kehlani, right? Shout out to that. Let's clap it up for that. Lil Wayne, Celine Dion, audio engineer and producer. Come on up. Jeremiah, welcome to the panel. And then we have the duo, the Audibles, Jimmy G and DJ Mecca. Come on up. Credits include Justin Bieber, Sam Smith, French Montana, Ty Dolla $ign. The list goes on. Welcome, the Audibles. And hopefully everyone on the live stream, shout out to the people on the live stream working through it with us. We appreciate you. All right, we're gonna jump right into it. I know I got to give you guys a second to think. I was gonna load you up with the question. I said, nah, let's keep it organic. How come the snacks are staring at me? What randomness is that? B, did you leave snacks up here for me? Where'd she go? I saw you were gonna get them for me. I appreciate that, Leo. Shout out, Leo. Shout out to Leo. Okay, I'm gonna jump into it. I appreciate you guys being here. So the first thing is, I myself, I think stories are an excellent teaching tool. I think that, if you go back to our childhood, if you go back to why Netflix and chill is so cool, is because stories. It's just stories. And I think that, if your mind processes it right, you always pull something that's special or individual to you from a story. We can listen to the same story and pull different information, right? So what I want to do, and try to keep it brief. It doesn't have to be super short, but just brief. I want you guys to share a story, and we can just go down the line, starting with you, and a studio experience with a music creator, artist, producer, co-producer, songwriter, whatever it is. Doesn't have to be A-list, but something that was unique and teachable or learned or experienced that's important for those in the audience to share. And you can omit names or any information you need to keep it private if you need to, but just a story that you thought was a great experience and something either you learned from or the people around you, you feel like, oh, if I share this, they'll learn from that.
Yeah, one that comes to mind immediately when we first met, Pooh Bear. I don't know if you guys heard of him. Big, huge songwriter, one of our main collaborators. One of the biggest lessons we learned, I remember the first day me and DJ met him, and people told us, like, he's taking the time to listen to your guys' beats. He never really does this with new up-and-coming people. So we played him a bunch of beats for like almost an hour straight. And at that time, we had never really worked with an amazing songwriter, so
This is like 2009.
yeah. So at the time, we would just put all kinds of melodies in the beats and fill it up, and because at that time we're just trying to satisfy our own selves, and we're playing him these beats that are switching up 3 times and all these melodies, and he's like, "So where's the room for me?" And we're like, "Oh, I don't know." He's like, "You took all the melodies up, you took all the frequencies up the space. Where am I supposed to fit the song?" He's like, "Man, take that sound out, take that sound out." And it got to a point when we started working with him, like we would have a couple melodies, and he would be like, "All right, now step away from the keyboard. The beat's done." He's like, "The beat's finished. You did your part. Now let me add my part." And that's how we learned to like simplify and leave room for a vocalist and make a song instead of just making a beat. And I think that's one of the most important things we learned from him along the way. So
Yeah, that's powerful. DJ, you want to jump in?
What's up, guys? My name is DJ, one half of the Audibles. A good story. There's so many. I look at every song we collaborate on with these artists as snapshots to the story. So when we listen back to these songs years later or, months later, whenever it is, it takes us back to that moment, So there's so many great stories. I don't know. Honestly, there's so many good ones. Seriously. Okay, I remember one. Snoop Dogg. Everyone knows Snoop Dogg, right? Me being from LA, I'm a huge fan of Snoop, like biggest fan. And I remember we were working on this song. He was featured out here in Vegas, and he flew out. He was living out here. His son was going to Bishop Gorman playing football, and then we got all the money together that it cost for it. It was like I think $35,000 in cash. So we're just sitting there with a pile of cash in a duffel bag, waiting for him to show up, and he opens the door, and you just see a cloud of smoke. Literally, like in Snoop fashion, just exactly how you would expect it. And he walks through the cloud of smoke. I feel like he was just smoking out in the studio. Odds On. I don't know what it's called now, but those who know about Odds On, what is it? Mix Hideout. Thank you. Sorry. Yeah, the owners would probably kill me, but that's where me and Jimmy met, was Odds On, so I still call it Odds On. But he walks through the studio, cloud of smoke. I'm like, that's Snoop. And then he pulls up a laptop, and while he's working on our feature, he's on ESPN Live. We turn on the TV, and he's doing a live interview on ESPN while he's in the studio working with us. And he's like, "What's up, nephew? You mind if I do this interview real quick?" I'm like, "Of course. What you mean? Like, you Snoop, you can do whatever you want as long as you give us that feature, So, but he opens up his bag, and he pulls out a tower of weed with all different type of flavors, and he's like showing everybody the flavors, telling everybody like how amazing his strains are, and then he rolls up a joint, and then he passes it to me, and I'm looking at him. I'm like, I don't really smoke, but you're Snoop, so I feel like I got to, you know what I mean? It's just only right. So I end up hitting it, and I didn't inhale. I never inhale. I'm serious. I really don't.
No, we believe you. I'm one of those.
But yeah, that was an awesome experience. I mean, we have some crazy experiences that shouldn't be recorded, so that's why I'm not going to bring those up.
That's why I said that disclaimer at the beginning.
But this is one that you guys can learn from. Don't just be a creative, be your own business. And Snoop let us know right then and there. He was like, I'm my own business. You don't have to worry about clearing anything with a label. If I'm telling you this is what it is, this is what it is. And that's how we've always done our business. If we tell you something, if this was our price starting out with you, 10 years, 15 years down the line, we still give you that price because that's just good business. So
good business. Appreciate that. And we're going to go to you, Jeremiah. After the Snoop story, I know we all feel the pressure.
I can't top that. I do
Warner camps every year. And it's all a writers camp. And just seeing the process of that, like knowing you're in there with the top writers and producers and just like making history is probably the coolest feeling I've ever felt, of just being in the room and it's like, all right, I know this is going to be a number one, and it's not even close to finished yet. I don't have no cool weed stories. Worked with Wiz Khalifa. He definitely left over an ounce of weed at the studio at the end of his session. I was like, I don't care about that.
There's a theme here today.
Yeah, there's quite a few. Been around a lot of different artists and seeing, the working with the Celine stuff and seeing that's a legend. Like, she's been around forever, and seeing how good she treats people was always cool to me. Like, I started as the front desk guy, and she would still walk in and give hugs and cheek kisses and stuff, and lots of cool experiences.
No, for sure. That's dope. Dawson, are we going to have to lead you to what everybody wants to know, that you can, without getting in trouble, you can just jump into it? Okay. Absolutely. Yeah, we all watched it from afar, so share it with us.
Working with Kanye. If you've heard anybody talk about how he works, it's probably one of the most unique situations, how he's just able to bring basically anybody he wants into the room, even if you're not even necessarily music creative, and you can still, he's so open to ideas, and he'll take and pull from everything, and there's so many versions of every single song that you heard that's out. There's probably 100 versions of that song, because anytime he has any type of idea, we have to execute that idea and just give a version of it, just so he can hear it and see if that's the take or not, or if that's the version that we're gonna go with. And I remember one thing that stood out to me was like Brick, Super Duper Brick. He got invited to the Donda sessions, and he specifically just really liked how he places open hi-hats. So he, just because of that one thing, he just like, I love this. If you're getting invited, like you need to be in here in the sessions. That's the kind of thing, like he's like looking for like these subtle like little nuances that he can kind of just add and like compile and concoct into like this masterpiece. The most like what I learned from it the most, or what everybody can take from it is, execute any idea that you have. I feel like you never really know. Like if you're in a creative space and the ideas are flowing, it's best to try and get those ideas out like as soon as possible, even if you're just recording it on a voice memo. A lot of times he just busts out his phone and he just starts recording. It's usually like a video or something, and sometimes that audio will even be used. He'll airdrop that stuff, and we gotta, Pro Tools, you can import videos, so it's like you import the video, take the audio, splice it, move it, do what you gotta do, finesse it. Like it's literally been done, So.
Wow, yeah. Let's clap it up for those stories.
Can I add something to what Dawson said?
No, go ahead. Yeah, please do.
So to back up what Dawson said, he's absolutely right. We've been in situations, recently for the Donda project. I don't know. I feel like I don't know if this was the exact moment, but I feel like it was when. Did anybody watch the documentary?
Absolutely.
All right. So there's a scene in there where Justin Bieber is in the hangar with Kanye, and I feel like during that time, Justin played an unreleased record. We've done a lot of records with Justin that haven't been released, but one in particular, he played for Kanye, and Kanye loved the drums, and he was like, "Who produced that?" And then Justin said the Audibles. So then Kanye reached out to us and invited us to the studio in Calabasas. Which, have you been to that studio? No, it's crazy. Like the whole vibe. It's like Jesus back in the day. Like it shrouds the whole walls, and everything like you snack on is like fruits that you just pick up and eat, and nuts, and it is just crazy. And he has like this huge screen that you've probably seen in the documentary where he's like a bunch of visuals and stuff. But to second what Dawson said, if he likes something, he's going to find you and bring you out, and that's just one situation where that's true for us.
Yeah, I like that. Let's switch over to the technical creative, and you guys can jump in as you want to jump in with this question, because You guys have all been successful. So, you know, the up-and-coming creators or the creators that want to add to their skill sets, they're always like, what tools do you use? What do you prefer? You know, so really we want to go into, you know, what's your preferred DAW? What's your preferred mixing and mastering tools? Really, you can highlight an effect, just something that you feel like, without giving away your secrets, your sauce, right? Something that you feel like helps, whether it's the production, the engineering, the vocals, you know, just something you're like, man, I share this with people all the time because they need to know it, because they send me, you know, maybe they send you files that are little suspect, right? Just things they can do to clean up or help in their production or in their engineering. Feel free.
Let's start over there with you, Dawson.
I know. I know. He threw it to you. He was like, no, basically your preferred DAW or mixing and mastering tools, things that are tips for the up-and-coming creators, like things you think that can help them improve their process.
I use Pro Tools. I'm an engineer, mainly first and foremost, so Pro Tools is definitely my DAW choice. I think it's the best when it comes to recording, mixing and mastering, just workflow-wise. I definitely probably wouldn't use it if I was going to make beats, probably something like FL or Ableton. But regardless of what DAW you're using, you know, they all pretty much do the same thing. You know, it's just really about preference and workflow at the end of the day. So I would just say choose whatever one. If you already started with one, probably just stick with that one and learn it like really well. You know, unless it's FL and you're trying to record in FL. I wouldn't do that. But yeah, I think it's just about really just knowing the fundamentals of like what you're working with at the end of the day.
I feel like no matter what you're using, just learn it to the best of your ability. It don't matter. You know, a lot of people think, oh, I got to get this expensive mic. Get one that you can afford. Learn how to use the shit. I could cuss, right? Sorry.
Sure. Say that shit.
Yeah, a lot of people think it's all about, like, how expensive these monitors are. No, get what you could afford and learn it. So it's whatever you're using. It doesn't matter the price point. Just be the best you could be at it.
And know its limitations.
I like that, yeah.
Like during the DAW sessions, you know, a